Are you ready? Hey! Are you ready? Are you ready for the
Jive turkeys. What to do, Jive Turkeys, and welcome back to The Controversy. I'm your host, Ian Elliott-Carter, and to the left of me, I have the most beautiful gal in the world, Tatiana Wilson.
Hello.
Don't look at that. Just kidding.
You didn't even block me out. You blocked yourself.
All right. Well, we're a couple that barely argues, but we watched a movie recently called Malcolm and Marie from a couple that decided they wanted to argue all daggum night.
On a very special night. That's that.
Malcolm and Marie stars John David Washington and Zendaya. And who's the director?
Sam Levinson. He also wrote it. He's the same guy that wrote and directed
the special for Euphoria that recently
Euphoria.
came
No,
out.
the whole thing, all of it.
Oh,
he does all of Euphoria.
Okay, so we can understand why the dialogue was just so dope and just understandable and relatable. I love that dialogue. Whoever wrote that, what is his name again?
Sam Levinson.
Man, he's on par with, I would say, Quentin Tarantino. Like, I enjoyed just that dialogue. Yeah. This whole movie was just a fight, just a dialogue.
It was literally just dialogue. And I think some people didn't like that. Like, I heard some people were like, I don't want to watch a whole hour and a half, or 2 hours. It was almost 2 hours. I don't want to watch 2 hours of people just talking. But I'm like,
oh, it was spicy. It was
entertaining.
Some shade room stuff right there. You were eating your bone like, and there was times where I was flip flopping. Like, you know, she got, for the most part, I think she was right overall in the conversation. I agree. But Malcolm made some pretty good points too. Don't get it twisted. If you watch the movie, you got to understand. Like, this is a situation where it seemed like there was a lot of anger building to that situation that made it blow up to what it was. Yeah. But that's where this is where you got to chop it up to. Like, if something's bothering you, just talk about it. Don't wait until something explodes.
I mean, yeah, easier said than done because we're bottlers.
Yeah, no.
We both are bottlers, so.
It is what it is. For the most part, though, do you agree Zendaya had the point?
I feel like overall...
We can talk about what the point was, though. The point was she felt like she was not ungrateful, but she felt like she wasn't getting the recognition that she deserved. Yeah. For a project that she made. The project that John David Washington's character, which was Malcolm. Yeah, he wrote this screenplay, he wrote this movie, and he was getting all this praise. He thanked everybody involved, the actresses, everybody, except for his girlfriend, who supposedly
was a really big inspiration for a lot of the movie. Not all of it. He was like, it's not all you, but she was like, okay, so you're gonna tell me that if we had never met, it was gonna be just as good as it was? Yeah. And he was like, no, it wouldn't have. And she's like, okay, there's my point, and I'm standing by you.
Rookie mistake, brother. Why did you just...
And even if it wasn't that, you know, because she was an actress, so she like had history and like knowledge in the field of like film. So he, of course, like used her brain and stuff to, you know, like read through her stuff or read through his stuff as he had made it. And so like even if it wasn't based on her or had something like to do with her life, right? He should still thank her for the time that she put in for supporting him and reading through it and giving her opinion and doing all the stuff that she did just as a supporting person in his life.
Absolutely, very important.
Outside of being an inspiration for it. Like, I feel like that's bigger than that.
As somebody that's creative, she helps me a lot with all my projects. I don't think I could get any of it done without her, you know, help and assistance. So, in my opinion, dumb decision, brother. Dumb decision. I wanted to talk about that junk gave me PTSD. It reminded me of some old toxic relationships I used to be in. Every time I'm hearing, you know, this back and forth, it's putting me in a bad place. It's making me uncomfortable. But that's what art is. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's supposed to see through the lens of somebody else. And I think they nailed that.
Oh, yeah.
For this to be filmed during, like, the start of the pandemic, I believe.
Like
it started
March, right?
In the March area of last year. They, you know, this was like the first movie to be filmed during the pandemic. And I was like, this is very impressive to just, these two characters just have a conversation and go back and forth, cursing at each other.
Yeah. And they're changing everything just constantly throughout the whole movie. And you know, it's also cool because it's like set like in their house. So like that's the only thing that you see is their house. They're the only people that you see the whole time. You feel like you're a guest
in the house just watching.
Yeah, you're like, oh wow, like kind of like if walls could talk type of situation. Like they don't know you're there and you're just watching the whole thing unfold.
I was like, there's the bathroom over there. You want to go to the kitchen? That's over there to the left. I knew where everything was.
And it was really cool. And the way that it was filmed was cool. It was cool that they filmed it all in black and white. And just the way they shot it, because sometimes it off was like
old-timey of like something from the 50s
they had the names and everything, like the way, you know, old movies did in the beginning with like all of like the people that were in it and stuff like that. That was really cool.
Very unique how they shot that.
And just the way like that they transitioned like frames and the way that they moved, like sometimes like you were watching it from the inside, like, you know, sitting here looking at someone like right face on, or sometimes you were literally outside of the house watching them do something, or inside of the house watching them do something outside. Yeah. So it was really cool. Like I loved the way that they shot it. I thought it was really interesting and kind of different from a lot of stuff that we see. Usually it's just like face on.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I know these are fictional characters, but I felt like that fight needed to happen. If they truly loved each other, they needed to get all this out. It seems like they kind of reconciled at the end. Very hurtful things were said to each other. Oh, very hurtful things. Awful things. But I think that it wasn't nothing that they couldn't come back from. Honestly.
I mean, I'm just assuming based off the way they talk, like they probably had fights like this before, so it's probably nothing that they never heard before.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they can shake it off, but like you said, I do think it was really necessary for them to continue. The relationship they had.
Well, listen, I definitely recommend this one. If you have Netflix, if you're a fan of good dialogue and good conversation, and you know, if you're a fan of the Shade Room, if somebody likes to drink tea and listen to drama, this one, Malcolm and Marie, is definitely a good one. The director, one more time, what was his name?
Sam Levinson.
Man, he's going to be a powerhouse for the future. Seriously.
For real. And if you like Euphoria, I feel like you'll like it. Please, especially if you liked Rue's special episode, you'll like it because her dialogue in that was amazing, and that was like very kind of reminiscent.
And we know by now John David Washington and Zendaya are just
amazing.
This generation's great actors, and you know
they worked together so well too. Like
I believe they were a
like
couple.
They had like a really good chemistry, and I know a lot of people gave it kind of flack, like, oh, their age difference or whatever, because they're like 12 years or something like that. And it's like, they're both adults, who cares? And they're both amazing actors. And if you didn't have Google, you wouldn't know.
I think they only care because Zendaya looks younger than she is. That's the only thing, because I heard like Margot Robbie was way younger than Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street. Nobody batted an eye because, you know, black doesn't crack with Zendaya. So that's why. And I'm like, well, how old? They had to look up how old is Zendaya. Is she 12? No, she's like, what, 25?
She's 24.
24.
Because she's 2 years older than me, I think.
She's old enough to drink drive. I mean, don't drink and drive, but she's old enough to.
Not at the same time.
Hey, if she killed John David Washington, she would go to jail for life. She's an adult.
Yes.
What did you guys think of Malcolm and Marie? Let us know in the comments. Did you not like it as much as we did? Have you not seen it yet? I do recommend this one. Much love, peace, and chicken grease.
Help keep your brother out the streets. Subscribe to my dad's YouTube channel. Love, peace, and chicken grease.